Ink ribbon.
After so many unwanted and unnecessary packs, the one we've been really waiting for is finally here. The Sims 4 Seasons. I'll keep this video as short as possible, but there's a lot in this expansion, so let's get to it. Okay, first of course we have the basics. New clothes, new hair, new furniture items, nothing really special there. Although, going back to the clothing, we now have two outfit categories for your Sims, one for hot weather and one for cold weather, which functions just like the Sims 2 and 3. Self-explanatory. First thing I'd like to mention is that The Sims 4 has retooled the entire gardening mechanic in the game, which is available as a free patch update, even if you don't have seasons. They also threw in glass roofs, so there you go, enjoy. Now if you do get seasons, there's even more to add to the gardening. You now have more seeds to choose from, which are season specific. This means summer plants will only produce harvestables in the summer, fall plants will only produce in the fall, etc. However, you can grow plants indoors, and this will make them able to produce year-round. There are also new plants introduced, including the infamous money tree. With the gardening comes the gardening career, as well as two new things to do: flower arrangement and beekeeping. Beekeeping is a way for your Sims to get some honey. The higher your relationship is with the bees, the better quality of honey, just like real life. I will say I was excited about the beekeeping until I realized the bees don't interact with or affect your plants at all. So flowers near your bees will look nice, but it's purely aesthetic. Child Sims now have a career. If you call being a boy or a Girl Scouts a career, but hey. Listed as an after-school activity, Child Sims can do extracurricular activities to earn badges, and that's pretty much it. Child Sims also get this nifty crafting table where they can let their creativity run wild, drawing pictures, making cards, and making holiday-specific crafts, which can be given as gifts, hung on the wall, or tossed in the garbage. With this pack are two really creepy additions that I find confusing and terrifying. First of all, we've got Patchy. Patchy is a scarecrow that doesn't do anything. Oh, but if you talk to him, he will move, and if you become friends with him, he will walk around, tend to your garden, and watch TV. The other thing returning are the Gnomes. Some people find them adorable, others, like myself, cannot imagine the terror of walking into your kitchen at 3 AM and finding these guys walking around. Okay, now let's get to the reason you're all here. Seasons. Spring, summer, fall, winter. By default, seasons last 7 days in Sims time, but you can change this to 14 or 28 days long if you want. But I found 7 days in Sim time was longer than you'd think. Each season has its own activities, weather patterns, and events. Before I get to the events, I'd like to mention something pretty cool that the developers did. Every single world has been updated to work with the Seasons pack. All trees will now change color with the seasons, and sunrise and sunset will adjust to the season. And they've also made things spawn in each season. For example, in the summer you might find a bucket filled with water balloons. In the fall, you'll find leaf piles. In the winter, you can find a skating rink. The Sims also die a few new ways, including freezing to death, getting struck by lightning, and overheating.
Oh, Spaga!
By the way, can we take a moment to appreciate the heat waves you can actually see in the game? I do have a few complaints about the weather though. Personally, I feel that it rains way too often. Instead of weather being something that takes place in the background, it seems to be a constant in-your-face event that won't stop. It was rare for my Sims to have a normal day of weather unless it was spring or summer. But I live in California, so maybe my view on weather isn't normal. I did find that you can customize the weather in the game menus to a certain extent though, so there's that. Another small thing that was kind of lame is that when it does rain, it doesn't water your plants. If you play games like Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon, you know why that's a problem. Some cool little things that they added are how your Sims react to the world outside. As soon as they leave the comfort of home, they react to the weather around them, shivering when it's cold, fanning themselves when it's hot, slipping on mud and puddles, and even struggling with blown out umbrellas on a windy day. And now, probably the biggest addition to the game, calendars and events. Your Sims now have calendars that keep track of time, seasons, events, and holidays. Now, instead of last-minute impromptu parties, you can schedule parties up to 2 weeks in advance. Along with this are the addition of holidays. extremely generically named holidays such as Love Day and Winterfest, but for some reason they left New Year's Eve untouched. These holidays were more fun than I expected. Each holiday has traditions that your Sims can fulfill for a small bonus or ignore with no penalty. Each Sim will feel differently about each tradition. For example, in my family, the mom was really excited about the meal served on Harvest Day, but didn't care so much about being thankful. Her daughter only cared about being thankful, and the toddlers didn't care about anything, because they're toddlers. Along with the pre-made holidays, you can create your own holidays and delete existing ones. So if you want to change Love Day to Valentine's Day and make the traditions drinking, fighting, and streaking, then feel free. So that is the season's expansion for The Sims 4. There are a few little things I didn't talk about since there really is so much in this expansion, but I'll let you guys discover those on your own. Now this expansion retails at $39.99 US, which is pretty steep, but I do recommend it. Mainly for the calendar events, which were the biggest and most pleasant surprise of this expansion. If you like this video, check out my other Sims reviews and game videos on my channel, and consider subscribing. I'm Kai Morgan, and as always, thanks for watching Ink Ribbon.